This person is cutting a block of stone as heavy as a truck. It is 11,000 years ago. There are no farms yet, no metal, no writing, and yet they are building something enormous. We are taught a simple story about how all of this began. Humans learned to farm, and farming gave us spare food. That spare food bought us the free time to build temples, towns, and everything after. It is a clean, sensible story. There is just one problem with it. When we dig up those first farmers and actually look at their bones, the whole thing falls apart. Next to the hunters who came before them, those first farmers were shorter, and their teeth were rotting. Many were sick and worn out by their 30s. Hunting and gathering was honestly the better deal. So here's the real mystery. Why give up an easier, healthier life to break your back in a field? For a long time, nobody had a good answer. But the one that keeps coming back is strange, and a little funny. Maybe we did not do it for bread. Maybe we did it to get drunk. To see why that makes sense, picture the life we gave up. 15,000 years ago, your ancestors were not miserable cavemen. In a way, they were kind of rich. A few hours of work could feed the whole group. The rest of the day was theirs, to rest, to talk, to play. Here is the part that surprises people. These foragers already knew how to plant seeds. They had known for tens of thousands of years. They just did not bother. And honestly, why would they? Farming is brutal. You clear land, break soil, and guard your crop for months. All of it just to stay chained to one tiny patch of ground. So the puzzle sharpens, what made it worth it? To find an answer, we go to a cave in the hills of what is now Israel. Inside, archaeologists found deep bowls carved into the stone floor. These bowls are 13,000 years old. When scientists scraped the residue from inside them, they found something they did not expect. It was not flour for bread. It was malted, fermented grain, the leftovers of beer. This beer was not made by farmers. It was made by hunter-gatherers before farming even existed. The world's oldest drink came first, and it was not just something to sip after work. These bowls sat right beside the graves of their dead. The very first beer we know of was poured for a funeral. So beer was there at the very beginning, wrapped up in ritual. To see how a drink could build a civilization, we visit the strangest building on Earth. It is called Göbekli Tepe, 11,500 years old, older than farming, older than writing, older than the wheel. Giant stone pillars carved with animals, arranged in great rings. Now here is the shock. There is no city here, no houses, no streets, no farms. Wandering hunter-gatherers built this. A temple with no town around it at all. Building this took hundreds of people for weeks. But these were wandering hunters with no bosses, no wages, no kings. So how do you get hundreds of free people to haul 10-ton stones for you? The answer, they think, is a feast. You do not pay them. You throw the biggest party anyone has ever seen. You feed them well, and you get them drunk. Because alcohol is more than a drink. It is a social tool that drops your guard. It softens the stranger across the fire and melts a crowd of separate people into one group that trusts each other. But a giant feast does one more thing, and this is the clever part. If I feed you and fill your cup today, you owe me. Not in money, in help. And that debt is how you get a temple built for free. There is a catch, though. To throw feasts this big again and again, you need a mountain of grain. That is far more than you can gather from wild plants on demand, so you start helping the grain along. You clear a patch and scatter the best seeds close to home. Not to eat, to brew. Here is the detail that gives me chills. Scientists trace the wild ancestor of our wheat to one specific hillside. That hillside sits about 20 miles from that temple. The cradle of wheat, right next door to the party. So picture the whole loop. People gather to worship, they feast, and they brew. They need more grain, so they tame the wild wheat. And slowly, quietly, the wheat tames them right back. The feasts got bigger. The fields got bigger. People stayed to guard the harvest, season after season. Those little brewing plots grew into farms and villages, and everything you have ever known. We did not march into civilization looking for bread. We chased a warm fire and a drink shared with friends, and woke up as farmers, forever. Now, is any of this proven? Honestly, no. This is one of the biggest fights in archaeology right now. Plenty of smart people think bread really did come first, or that beer was just one reason among many. The truth is probably tangled, the way real history always is. But here is what almost nobody argues with. Those feasts happened, and the beer was there right at the start. The only real fight is over how much it mattered. Even if beer was only part of it, it flips something in how we see ourselves. We love to believe our great leaps came from hardship. But maybe some of our biggest leaps came from the opposite. From joy, from wanting to be together. From a fire, a song, and a cup passed around a circle of people we love. So next time you raise a glass with people you love, remember what you might be holding, not just a drink. Maybe you are holding the very reason any of this exists, the oldest technology we have for turning strangers into family. And it is not the only ancient comfort that quietly built the modern world, but that is a story for next time.